What's up, guys? David here. Wanted to talk to you about a couple of really cool swords today. Now, this is going to be sort of a comparison, but the truth is you really can't compare these two swords. They're two different things. You wouldn't go and try to say which is the better vehicle, the truck or the sedan. You know, that's two different styles of thing. So that's not the purpose here. I am going to have some comments about the quality, the fit and finish, and the potential uses for each of these swords. At the moment I am simply sheathing them so that we can get a good look at the scabbard and sheath, scabbard. So, first of all, these blades are both 1060 carbon steel. The Grosse Messer is a 31-inch blade. The hand and a half from Cold Steel is a 33.5-inch blade. So 2.5 inches more reach on this one. It doesn't really matter. You're probably never going to sword fight anybody. I mean, in this modern age, that is very, very unlikely. So anyway, Tpr Handle on the Grosse Messer. I love how they have done a modernized style on these handles, on these Honshu Boshin items. I have several different Honshu Boshin cutlery items at this point. I love these handles. It's a tough material, it's rubbery, it's got a good grip to it, and inside here is actually a full tang. If a little skeletonized, it is a full tang. The only criticism on this handle is that this little screw is a little loose. It just came like that. It hasn't caused a problem, but it will spin freely if you stick something in there and try to spin it. The other side will spin as well. I think all I need is a couple of little star heads of that size, one on each side, tighten it up. It'll probably be fine. So this has this hoop for hand protection. Once again, that's a sword fighting feature. You're probably not going to be sword fighting people. I hope you're not sword fighting people. That would be, well, I mean, in the right setting, that would be fun. In a competition, you know, and all that. Maybe even medieval MMA. This might actually be a good blade for that, considering that it didn't come very sharp. You wouldn't have to blunt this edge nearly as much as you would have to on this one in order to use that in medieval MMA. Of course, the guys that do that are probably pretty few and far between. Now, this sheath leaves a little bit to be desired. It is not the best sheath in the world. Upsides of it, it does have a couple of hoops you can put a strap through so that you can perhaps carry it like this. And if you had it, you know, with the handle angled up, it wouldn't fall out. However, look at this. If you turn it, it starts, hang on, let's see. Oh, there it goes. If it turns, it starts to fall out, okay? So that's one downside to this sheath. Obviously, the Cold Steel hand and a half sword, you can pretty much do whatever you want in the angle. It doesn't fall out until you're ready to pull it out. So a little more tension in there. Plus, this is wood with leather wrap and steel fittings. Very nice scabbard on the hand and a half. Anyway, look at that beauty. That is a sweet fat baby. So, excuse me. This is a thick blade, guys. This is 1/5 of an inch thick. I mean, I don't know how good you are at math, but that's nearly 1/4 inch thick. This is pretty thin, and it is light, maneuverable, and quick. So, this sword here, very easy to manipulate with one hand. As you can see, none of this is trouble at all. It is very, very light, very maneuverable. I apologize, I don't have a ton of room to do anything fun and fancy as far as maneuvers, but very light, very quick, really, really quick and easy to manipulate. This one, on the other hand, with one hand, oh, you're holding quite a bit of weight there. I mean, that's heavy out there. This one is really, the hand and a half is very well balanced. I don't really think that balance was even on the table for this guy. This is just so heavy out here. It's not like it was going to be balanced I mean, this is just a chopper, guys. This is like, get yourself a good grip and get a baseball swing on your target. That is really what it is for. It is a heavy, high momentum, follow through type chopper. So, I like this cross guard better. The reason for that is, this cross guard is wider. It's a lot wider. Now, it may seem like a negligible difference until you see that when you are trying to manipulate this blade, unless you choke way back like this, then you're going to, hit your own forearm with that thing. Now, that might just be a matter of technique. You know, your technique probably needs to be different for this sword than it is for this one. But not only is it wider, it's also sharp on the ends. You know, not sharp enough to cut you, but sharp enough to hurt if it bashes into your head. Hey, guess what, guys? I'm kind of an idiot. I've already injured myself with both of these, albeit not that badly, but I have never argued with anyone that I am an idiot when it comes to, well, a lot of things. But anyway, the reason I'm saying that about this one is while I was having fun with this, I was swinging it over my head, it was hitting my forearm like this, and also in a arc above my head, that cross guard hit me in the back of the head. It actually happened twice, and it hurt a lot. It didn't draw blood, but that is not fun to do. And that's really just because I'm so used to this one being so quick and easy to maneuver, and also the cross guard being much shorter. As you can see, I can bend this almost to the full extent in the direction of my forearm, and it still doesn't touch my forearm. That's a benefit in my book, but, you know, once again, we're not going to be sword fighting anyone. These are just for fun anyway. This is more of an enthusiast's collection kind of item in both cases, really. Now, you can cut all kinds of things with either one. You could probably do cutting competitions, maybe, but there are swords that are better for those sort of things. Now, I'll say, this hand and a half sword, it came so sharp from the factory that one day I was oiling my blade. I lightly bumped these 4 fingers against the blade right about here. And I'm not saying I dragged it across there. I'm not saying I put a lot of force behind it. Lightly bumped. I mean, just barely. And there were cuts across all 4 fingers. I had to stop what I was doing and bandage myself up. Now, just to show you a basis of comparison, look at this. Nothing. It just doesn't come very sharp. This is a chopper, a basher. Now, when you get it, you know, put your own edge on it, and it'll be even better for chopping. But it did not come anywhere near as sharp as this. I won't even touch the edge of this one anymore. That's how sharp it came from the factory. So Cold Steel definitely put a hell of an edge on this hand and a half sword. So, conclusions on this subject. Let's say you had 2 swordsmen and they had exact equal skills. You could even go so far as to say, let's say it's the same guy with the same skills and he's been cloned and he's going to fight himself. You put this in one hand, in one of their hands, you put this one in the other one's hands, and what happens? I'm going to tell you with certainty, this guy wins. The hand and a half would win. Now, why is that? Because this has multiple advantages over the other one in terms of sword fighting. One is that it is a consummate stabber. Yes, it is a very good stabbing weapon. It's got a very fine point, very sharp, and it is great at stabbing. Next, it is much more maneuverable. Now, I can't show this kind of thing off at the moment due to my restraints here in this space, but this is so maneuverable. It is so easy to manipulate. You can get it wherever you want it to go very quickly, and especially if you're using 2 hands with it, it's so quick, even with one hand, that if you've got 2 hands on it, you've got even more quickness to manipulate it. Also, couple extra inches of reach, 2.5 inches of reach, combined with the fact that this one's not very good at stabbing, This is just the, two-handed swing-through momentum chopping type blade right there. It's got kind of a saber styling in the way that the spine is very thick. This second area here is also the same thickness with a fuller running through the middle. I've seen old sabers that are that style, like cavalry sabers, and the reason for that is because that extra weight adds more momentum, and from horseback they could whack somebody in half or something. So they are very different swords, and that's the point that I'm making here. These are not two swords that you're going to say, which one's better. You're going to say, these are different, okay? This is quick, fast, super sharp, really nice, and it cost me nearly $400, okay? This is not nearly as sharp, but really heavy, really good momentum, pretty good all-around fit and finish. I mean, it's a nice blade, having a lot of fun with it, but it was about 250 bucks. Honestly, not quite the sword that the hand and a half sword is, but I highly recommend them both. They're actually both a lot of fun, and if you are a sword and blade enthusiast, I think you ought to add both of them to your collection, because why not? Plus, who cares? And whatever. So, anyway, hope you've enjoyed the sword talk today. I have greatly enjoyed these two swords. Hopefully at some point in the future we will do some videos of actually chopping some things apart. And until then, like and subscribe. Thanks for checking it out, and y'all have a good day.